wicked system of Rock Nation, including you, Jay-Z.
Yes. Yes.
You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and bartered the souls of young men, and you're still doing it.
I don't know their names, Bill, but if you follow the money, you go high enough, you start to see, okay.
When it comes to spilling the juicy secrets of Hollywood, many famous folks are getting in on the action, but only a handful of them have the guts to stick by their claims. And it looks like we have a new member joining that club. If you've been keeping up with Ice Cube, you know he's been on a mission to expose the shady side of Hollywood for a while now. But just recently, he took it to a whole new level by dropping a bombshell we've never heard before. Now, we all know that Jay-Z is considered a big shot in Hollywood, right? We're well aware of the immense influence that the Carters hold, so going against them takes some serious courage. But Ice Cube doesn't seem to care about that. He's determined to reveal what he believes the public deserves to know. So he spills the tea on the long list of rappers who Jay-Z allegedly messed with, whether they ended up dead, in a coma, or behind bars. So which rappers are we talking about? And what exactly did Ice Cube reveal? Well, hang tight, folks. I know you've been eagerly awaiting for this. So stay tuned and prepare yourself for all the juicy details.
Let's take it. Same people who own the labels own the prisons. So,
literally the same people?
Literally the same people who own the labels own private prisons.
Before we spill all the details, let's talk about the other bombshells Ice Cube dropped. Brace yourselves, because Ice Cube spilled the tea on the rap music industry during an interview on Bill Maher's podcast, Club Random. His revelation sent shockwaves through the industry, and everyone is buzzing about it. Ice Cube accused American record labels of actually encouraging criminal activity. During his conversation with Bill Maher, he revealed that record labels engage in what he called social engineering. And guess what? It all comes down to money. Ice Cube boldly claimed that if you follow the money trail, you'll discover a mind-boggling connection. Apparently, some owners of record labels are also owners of prisons. Can you believe it? But it doesn't stop there. Ice Cube raised some serious questions about who benefits from all the division and arguments in our society. According to him, it's the same people who profit from both the music industry and the prison system. It's like a twisted plot straight out of a movie. During that epic and captivating segment that seemed to go on forever, Maher couldn't resist spilling the gossip about the current trend of being woke, where everyone seems to be constantly on the lookout for others' mistakes, resembling a real-life version of the movie Mean Girls. It's like high school drama on steroids, don't you think? But Ice Cube had a revelation of his own. He argued that these seemingly petty arguments are intentionally planted in society to divert our attention and create division among us. It's a sneaky tactic to keep us bickering over trivial matters instead of focusing on the real issues that truly need our united attention. He stated, "It's just done really to keep us bickering and chasing these words. So they're really not getting to the root of the issues, which are most of the time very common." Ice Cube went on to explain that the music released by record labels seems to be deliberately designed to push people towards criminal behavior. It's not about forcing artists to write specific lyrics, but rather about the record labels acting as powerful gatekeepers. They decide which songs become hits and which ones fade into obscurity. They have the control to shape the narrative and promote certain themes, often linked to criminal lifestyles. Maher couldn't hide his surprise. He brought up Ice Cube's involvement in the controversial gangsta rap group NWA and their famous song about the police. Maher wondered if the record companies forced Ice Cube to write those lyrics. Ice Cube went on and set the record straight. He revealed that it's all about pushing the right buttons and guiding the industry towards promoting a certain image. Ice Cube described how record label executives sit around making decisions about what's hot and what should be said in the songs. It's like they're orchestrating a whole scheme to keep the prison industry booming. Can you believe the level of manipulation? For overall context, Ice Cube reveals how these labels manipulate artists by making them believe that committing crimes is acceptable, only later to find themselves in legal trouble. And guess which music label has the highest number of artists who have faced legal issues? It's none other than Rock Nation, owned by Jay-Z himself.
Meaning record company guys sit around and tell the artists, this is hot, say that, do this. We're gonna have this guy write the lyrics. We're gonna have that. So the narrative is really kind of, you know, structured and really made into what the record company want the record to be.
In case you've been out of the loop, there's some serious trouble brewing for artists under Roc Nation. Surprisingly, despite being part of such a big company, these artists haven't received any support from Jay-Z himself, even though we all know he's more than capable of helping them out. Now let's take a closer look at one specific example, Casanova. He signed with Roc Nation back in 2016, and in November 2019, Casanova's career was on the rise. The rapper, whose real name is Caswell Sr., even performed at a festival sponsored by Tidal at Barclays Center, where he pumped up the crowd with his Brooklyn charm, as Rolling Stone reported. It seemed like Casanova was ready to confront his personal struggles head-on. In his album at the time, titled Behind These Scars, he embraced his vulnerability, moving away from his usual tough image that had helped him gain fame. Senior didn't just make music, he also took on the criminal justice system through his work and advocacy. In one of his songs called Jail Call from the album Behind These Scars, he poured his heart out about feeling suicidal while locked up. In an interview with Rolling Stone, he shared the pain of hearing his mother cry on the phone, not being able to explain why he ended up in such a tough spot. He even admitted that he resorted to robbery as that was part of his life story and left a lasting scar. Senior even got the chance to speak about prison reform at none other than Harvard University, quite a turn of events. However, his fame quickly turned to ashes when he got hit with a serious charge of attempted murder in 2021. Since then, he's been behind bars, and here's where things get even juicier. It turns out that he ended up spending all of his money to cover the costs of his trial. Shockingly, despite being associated with a major music company, no one came to his aid. Believing that Jay-Z, the big shot behind his music label, could help him out, Senior reached out for assistance. But sadly, no help arrived, leaving him to face his legal battle all on his own. It's a scandalous twist that makes us question the true support he received from his music label. It seems like after being convinced to share his story through his music, he ended up in a prison cell. Talk about a dramatic turn of events. But wait, there's more. Here's another jaw-dropping example involving an artist from Roc Nation who got tangled up in legal trouble. It's none other than rapper Tory Lanez, who was charged and arrested following a dispute with Megan Thee Stallion. But hold on, the plot thickens. Tory allegedly received a threatening message from Roc Nation when he was planning to speak out on social media. Take a listen to the details for yourself.
I get a call from Roc Nation that says, yo, we heard you're gonna make a statement about what happened, and it'd be in your best interest if you don't make that statement. So I'm like,
Now, we can't say for sure what exactly went down between Megan and Tory, but the fact that Jay-Z himself wanted Tory to stay quiet and accept the consequences speaks volume about how deeply involved Jay-Z is in these games. It's like he's pulling the strings behind the scenes, controlling the situation. This scandalous revelation adds a whole new layer to the mystery surrounding Jay-Z's influence in the music industry. And if you thought that was the end of the shocking stories, wait until you hear about another artist under Roc Nation who is currently behind bars. It's none other than the legendary rapper R. Kelly. Notorious for his crimes against black girls and women, R. Kelly has a cellmate who claims to have another intriguing tale. According to Ronnie Bow, Kelly's former cellmate, Jay-Z allegedly wanted R. Kelly dead. In an interview with Hip Hop News Uncensored, Bow shared this startling allegation. Although Kelly didn't have concrete evidence to support his claim, he insisted to his cellmate that his former collaborator put a price on his life. The two artists famously joined forces in the early mid-2000s for 2 albums and an ill-fated co-headlining tour. However, things quickly fell apart at a show at New York City's Madison Square Garden. R. Kelly abruptly left the stage, citing claims of men pointing guns at him. On his way back to the stage, he was pepper sprayed by Tyron Ty Smith, a close friend of Jay-Z. Following the incident, R. Kelly was dropped from the tour and filed a lawsuit against Jay-Z for breach of contract, which effectively ended their already strained relationship. Bow explained that R. Kelly believed Jay-Z felt threatened because at the time, R. Kelly was more successful than him. He claimed that days before the Madison Square Garden event in 2004, R. Kelly received death threats that he believed were orchestrated by Jay-Z. In his own words, Bo said, he felt like Jay-Z was kind of insecure because at the time, R. Kelly was technically bigger than him. He felt like during one of his shows when they were at Madison Square Garden prior to that event, he said he was getting death threats that he felt were coming from Jay-Z. He added, it's outrageous, but he felt like Jay-Z was trying to get him killed for whatever reason. Now, Ice Cube certainly dropped some serious heavy allegations out there. And if you're still not convinced, just let it sink in. But hey, what's your take on all of this? Do you think Ice Cube hit the nail on the head? Or maybe you've got some different stories to spill. Leave your comments below, and while we eagerly await for more updates, don't forget to check out our next video where we dish out even more mind-blowing gossip.